Well, first I want to tell everybody that I put the show up as Bonnie and Chris Reck, right? The Bonnie
Mhm.
and Chris Reck show. And then everybody says, well, why is your name first? So what I said was, you told at me age before beauty. So
Right,
I'm
right.
older than you. But then, Chris, if they said beauty before age, I'd still go first.
That's right.
My name had to be first.
Of
Okay.
course.
But
Right.
if you, but let me tell you something. You're so important to this show,
Oh,
and I don't
thank
know
you.
what we would do without. So if you want your name and my name, and if we can morph it together, April, to come up with some name that has
Right,
both of our, you know that I would do that.
right. Some sort of
Yeah,
celebrity couple name.
right. No,
Hmm.
Mama. Wait.
I don't have a good one.
I know. I can't figure. Mama and her baby bear. I mean, I don't know because you're my daughter's age. Anyway, we have a really action-packed show, but
Yes.
I pulled a card and I pulled a flower card. I know you'll pull a card to a regular card because we're going to go and look at your chart that you put out. That chart was so cool.
Mm.
I hope that you continue doing that. Here's
Yeah.
because I always look for where the moon is, and I never. You got to look it up in all different places, but that is really important, and I love that you did that for all of us.
Mm.
So I want to thank you.
Yeah, of course.
The first card I pulled out, Chris, was friendships, balanced friendships, and it is the African daisy, and it says your friendships work best when they're give and take.
Mm.
So you know that some people, I'm a counselor, so some, it can't always be 50-50. You know that.
Right.
I mean, sometimes even, in your life, you give
Mm.
90% and someone else only gives 10%. But then the next time they should be giving 90% and you give 10%. So that's usually how life works. But what this tells me is there's people out there that really need, look at that, just sure. Oh my God.
Yes.
I look at that. I think I'm going to wear them.
There you go.
It tells me that there's people out there that are that are giving too much and not receiving enough. So pull a card. Let's see what yours comes out of.
Yeah, we have the be at home card. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but we have this moon in Cancer coming up, this new moon in Cancer, just a few days, 4 days, whatever. And yeah, so like I think that this is actually the last chance people will have to be at home. So, I would soak up that rest, that relaxation from home, because I think the rest of this month is going to be pretty active. So, yeah, that's what I would say there.
Well, before we get into the
Yeah.
card, I want to go over that chart because
Hmm.
you and I aren't going to be back here before we're going from the new moon to the full
Yeah.
moon.
Right.
And I like, let's start with the new moon. What do you feel this new moon is all about?
Yeah. I again, without getting too far ahead, I think that since this is the second full moon that we're going to have in Capricorn, basically in a row, whatever you didn't finish at the end of last month, you kind of have until the 21st where you're getting this like little bit of a rest period. And I think that the full moon, or I should say, the new moon in Cancer, I'm going to get all tangled up here. The new moon in Cancer is kind of giving everybody that little bit of a rest period before we get to this Capricorn full moon at the end, like, closer to the end of the month on our 21st. And so whatever you didn't finish, it's almost like we're getting a second chance to finish something. I also think what's super interesting is Mars enters Gemini like the day before, before the full moon. And so that is, Mars and Gemini is your innovative ideas, your more like futuristic ideas that you want to take action on. And so, I mean, it's like really set up to take a break right now, rest up, build up your energy, and then blast off at the end of the month.
I love that.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you something. That's what I love about your readings and everything that you give to people. And we're going to continue because we want to, unless, we need to look at the new moon coming up. And somebody called this Beware of the Ides of July. Why?
I have,
What's going on?
I mean, looking at the chart, I don't really think that there's anything like too crazy, going on here, with the chart. I mean, I think that, I mean, Chiron will retrograde again this month at some point. So I think that's on like the 25th or 26th. Chiron and Aries has been pretty weird, just in general. So, and maybe there could be like weirdness around around that, I would say that last like week of the month, but really, I don't see anything that I'm too worried about. I actually, I completed my July monthly readings and they were all like surprisingly positive, upbeat, better than June. So, I
I
think
love that.
yeah, they're going to be much better.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Because I didn't feel that either. But
Yeah,
I think a lot of them were looking at it globally, maybe, and not individually. And I don't look at it globally. I look at it
right.
individually because that's where I read. That's where I feel. But I love that you're saying that because I feel July, I don't know, it's right before Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
And I didn't get any bad feelings about it.
Yeah, I think it looks like rather positive, and Leo season is always good. So, I think that, coming up on Leo season at the end of the month, it'll be great. And it's a great time to work on health. Get through the moon, Leo season,
Yes.
even Chiron retrograde is great for, no matter where it is great for working on your health, improving your health, looking for better ways to improve your health.
I love that. For everybody out there, including I have a member of my family that is having surgery on the 15th. And I just don't feel bad about it. I feel like
No,
those are things that, you're going to have to, especially if you didn't take care of it like you were saying last
yeah.
month. And if you get it done this month, that's your last chance, really, before probably all heck breaks loose going into Leo season.
Yeah, what I would say is like, I've been telling people for a couple weeks now, you really, whatever you want, if you have like a big goal, wish or dream, you want to take that first, even if it's a tiny little thing, then you're putting it, into existence by taking that step. So especially before I say, the end of September, I would like now is between now and then is when I would take that first step, no matter, how big or how small it is.
Well, you know what? Talking of first steps, I know this is bleeding right into dent makers because,
Mhm.
I do want to talk about that. You've just put out, it's almost like you've given people a free glimpse into everything that you're doing with dent makers. You're actually giving them the course almost.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you're holding, because people do belong to dent makers, and I know that they have access to that. I can't wait to open. I'm just so excited. I just haven't had, with health issues going on with, it's in my family, but I will have plenty of time at the end of July, and I'm going to take every single one of the things that you've put on air, and I'm going to participate. So I hope you know that. And I also want to do the tarot course, which all of us
Mhm.
want to do. I keep talking about it, but that until I get somewhere, and that will be, I think that, well, leave the 18th, and I will be taking that course. You said that it was on, I think, or April put it, that was on Winning Pond or in
Yeah.
your,
Yeah,
okay.
that one is on Whitting Pond. Yeah.
And I love that. I hope that you do something on that. I hope that like we can do, or you can do something where a lot of people take that course,
Mhm.
and then, maybe we can do a question and answer on here.
Yeah,
If
that would
you
be
want.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so let's go. Let's do what we want to do with going through the zodiac, and then we can go through some of the new moon stuff for each sign. So where are we starting, Chris?
Aries.
Yeah.
So Aries, you have see the big picture. I'm pretty sure you just had this card with me the other day. So I think it's a great time. I think it's a great time for everybody to zoom out and take a look at what they're doing in their lives and like really get that bird's eye view so you can take like good, consistent action. I have the word consistent action popping into my head for you, Aries. So if you're doing something like working on a project, I think this is really saying zoom out, take consistent action, and that'll lead to success, especially during this new moon. I'm getting.
I love that because I picked one of my favorite cards, and I don't even really read this deck much, and that is love.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know, Aries. I don't know what you're looking at, but there might be some. This is a love card.
Mm.
If you're looking for love, it actually be. And the month of right now we're in July. July is all about family, home. The Cancer, place. So if you're looking for love, it might be this month. And love comes in many forms, as you and I talk about, Chris. It comes in the love of a pet, children. It comes in the love of a sport. Of course, I love football. Anything. But this kind of looks like, if you're looking for love, Aries, it's here.
Love it. Taurus, you have this open to infinite possibilities card. Taurus, have you ever seen a cow try to do a split? What I feel like saying here. So I feel like you need to continue to be flexible and stay open to flexible opportunity. Again, I think Taurus has been in their own like fixed energy for too long. And so we're getting out of that now, and flexibility is kind of going to be the secret for you. So anything you're doing, try all the different ways to accomplish it.
I love that. And I don't want to get too far in advance, because I think I would rather hear you than me. But this is a throat, this will tell you why. This is a throat chakra. So,
Taurus.
Taurus, please. And what's funny is I said Tara. Is there anybody out there named Tara? This is going to be for you too. This is about the throat chakra. Start verbalizing what you feel.
Gemini, you're not going to have a problem with this one. It says think on your feet. So I think that you being flexible, just continue to think on your feet. I think there could be some better ways to do the things that you're working on. And so, if you're stuck on anything, I feel this is just saying it's almost giving me kind of like Seven of Swords energy. Just be flexible, tactical, learn from other people, learn other ways of doing the things that you do every single day. And I think that will help. I also think there's a situation that you need to blend into here, Gemini. Like it's like popping into my head that it would be better for you to almost, kind of like melt into a situation. This could be like social or have to do with work. I don't know what that's talking about, but there you go.
Well, it's funny you said that, Chris, because I picked the feeling alone card. So that's right. Maybe they need to, to stop being, in some situation that they need to really move forward on and get to be with, the workers or whatever, your friends, or, maybe you're feeling alone because you're isolating yourself. So for the ones that are feeling alone, do what Chris said. Gemini, you're an intelligent sign, and you don't need to be told that.
Cancer, you have give with grace and gratitude, this turkey spirit. This is like the most abundant card in this deck. I did your reading this morning for next week, and it was awesome. So it's all about abundance and increasing your abundance. So I don't know, looks like a good time for work for you, Cancer. You could, I feel like you're harvesting results from like work that you already did, is what that's saying to me.
Well, guess what? You just read my card. So I love that. But of all these, I just want, and the cards are just flying out of my hand today. Look, see how thick this is?
Yeah.
I pulled the same card, and you see me shuffling throat chakra. So, I use my throat chakra all the time. So, for all of you out there, you Cancers, use your throat chakra. Or maybe you're using your throat chakra too much, and you got to watch what you say. Okay, go ahead.
Leo, you have a small spirit, says surrender to the divine. Leo, I do think you need to surrender to kind of like new ideas. And also, like if you're finding yourself trying to like force something to work, it's not going to work. I think if you allow things to work, they'll work, is what this is saying. And I want to pull another card for Leo. We got clear out the clutter. So I think that cleaning up your environment, kind of allowing things to flow instead of like trying to force things. What it's really saying to me is that you should don't need things to be a certain way. Sometimes I think Leo comes up with like rules in their head of how the world should work. And I feel like this is saying, well, we're in a different world now. So you have to just allow things to work how they're going to work. Yeah.
I love that. I know a lot of Leos, and that's I have a lot of Leo in my chart, but I have the release card, which is exactly what you're saying. And, release all, when you have an idea in your head, release what's, so fixed and start thinking, outside the box. Go ahead.
Virgo, you have this koi fish. It says there's always enough. Virgo, you are entering into a new time of abundance. I think if you have some sort of hidden talent, gift, skill, or ability, any of you Virgos that have like side projects, I feel that could be very abundant for you. I also feel it's time for Virgo to like grade their work. So any upgrade that you're making, raises, promotions, just working differently, very abundant.
I love that for Virgo. And this is giving and receiving. I like that card. It's kind of like the first one I pulled, balanced friendships. When you give, also be open to receiving?
Uh, Libra, you have this time to heal card. Libra, we have this, what I would say to Libra is I almost feel like you're breaking a trance. It's like you're breaking free from something that has been holding you back for a long time. I feel like this is not really a black cloud over your head, but I do feel this is kind of like that feeling like you can never get ahead or whatever, but you're releasing it, which is a good thing. And I feel like you're moving past it.
I love that, Libra. I haven't caught up to you yet because you know what? I'm so invested. No, it's because you say things that I just want to listen to and you mesmerize us. So for me,
Oh, good.
to listen to you. And when I pull a card, I can't because my brain starts to kick in. And I really don't love that because I just think everything you say, I'm like, listening. So if I'm a little slow on the uptake, you know what? Okay. And this is healing begins. Did you just say?
It's a time to heal.
Yeah. That's amazing. So healing begins. Go ahead.
Scorpio, you have this card that says truth transcends illusion. I feel two things for you, Scorpio. For some of you, I feel like you've been holding a truth back a little bit and that needs to come out, not like a bad truth. I think this is something you want. I think you're being honest with yourself and revealing a truth of like something you want. Could be love, could be work, doesn't really matter. I also feel like you are also seeing the truth, like seeing through certain illusions that you've put up like in your life. And you're building a lot as well. I get something about building here, Leo. Like whatever you're working on, I feel like you're kind of in that building process, laying a foundation.
Okay. Well, it's really interesting because you said Leo and it was Scorpio.
Oh, is it Scorpio? I can't believe I said that.
Well, usually when you say that there's a reason,
Yeah.
Chris. So maybe Leo needs to listen to the message too.
I think so.
Yeah.
Sag, right?
We were at Sag.
Sag, you have the dolphin spirit said this and that are true. So Sagittarius, I feel that there's a lot of good energy, very lucky energy, but you need to believe that you are lucky with the dolphin spirit. So with Jupiter in Gemini, then also Mars is going to go into Gemini close to the end of the month. I would start putting yourself in situations where you are going to be lucky. So we have to like create our own luck. And that's what I feel like this is saying.
I love that. Okay, let me see what I'm saying because I don't know at this point. Let's see. Well, that's because I had a brain scan. Detach. So for you, Sag, because you are really, Sages reach for the sky. You see, that's how they, so what would you interpret this as? I know you wanted to say something.
What did it say?
It says detach.
I think that like Sagittarius has been like an octopus shooting their arms out into different places in their life. And I think now they've like explored a lot of hidden things in their life, like their boundaries and things like that. But now it's the time to like come back to your octopus head and to really kind of like focus, right? And to focus in one direction. So you've kind of like tasted a bunch of things in life and now you're kind of collecting that information and going out.
I love that. And I have a lot of Sag. I'm a Sag rising, so I absolutely love that. And calling me an octopus, I am crab already.
Right.
In fact, if you watch The Boys, which my kids got me to watch, I don't know.
Oh, I haven't watched it. I started it, but I didn't get into it.
Yep. Okay, well, I do love octopuses. So go ahead.
Yeah. Sure.
Perfect.
Capricorn, you have lay a solid foundation. I literally just said to Sagittarius, lay a solid foundation. Capricorn, before your full moon at the end of the month, I would collect your energy, have some extra rest days this month, the beginning portion of the month, because you're going to be super busy once we get to the end of the month and then continuing on for like months. So, I would take advantage of just kind of resting, relaxing, recovering.
So funny because the card I pulled was rebuild. So that's resting, relaxing, and recovering. You can't make these things up. And by the way, even though I'd love to say Chris and I were next door neighbors, we're living in way different states. We pull our cards here on the show. I just think that's so cool when they match.
Aquarius, you have now is a lucky time. So really lucky energy for you here, Aquarius. Luck for Aquarius is in decision making for the next 20 years of your life, and then also anything new. So just like we talked about Mars going into Gemini, Pluto and Aquarius will give you a reward for new ideas, new invention, new people, new everything.
I love that because then guess what I have? I love this card. It kind of reminds me of the yogi card. It says seek, seek, and seek. You just said something new, inventions, new, all that.
Mhm.
That is what the seek card is, because Aquariuses are so forward thinking. They are going to seek the answers. They are going to seek new ways to do things, and I think that's cool.
Yeah. Pisces, you have this mouse spirit, says tend to the small things. I kind of feel like Pisces, maybe you need to have a day where you are just your like neurotic Pisces self and you really get into the nitty gritty of something that you're dealing with in your life. You allow yourself that time to kind of like really dig into the details of something. But then I think Pisces needs to be big picture at the moment. So I would say, give yourself a day to worry about everything that could go wrong and then move on.
Well, you're a Pisces.
I do, yeah.
So everyone, Chris, we can see what's ahead for Chris. And I pulled up, love this card, the healing card, heal. So I love that. Pisces are a water sign. They are healers. And Chris, you are a healer. So you heal with all the vibrations you send to everyone, with all the readings that you do. And this is, and I'm just not talking to Chris. I'm talking to, Pisces. But I do, when I look at Pisces, look at him. So you are a healer, and you heal through your words, you heal through your wisdom, and you heal through everything that you offer everybody. So here's your healing card.
Oh, I love it.
I love it too. And now I really wanted to go again through a little bit more astrology. You're in Cancer and Cancer season. What sign when you were doing your readings, are there any signs that you would say, oh my gosh, in Cancer, they're going to really shine, or is it all of it?
Really, I think everybody. I did these bonus readings just more recently, and literally everybody had the sun. Almost every single sign. There might have been like one or two that didn't, and I think we're in a time where everybody needs to get attention. So, I encourage everyone to do anything they can to be an inspiration or get positive attention. We have like 1, 2, 3 planets in Cancer, and technically the sun, and then 2 planets. So Cancer definitely stands out. Sagittarius really stands out to me right now, and so yeah, I would say Cancer and Sag.
That's 2 signs. I'm a Cancer and a Sag rising, so it is my
It is.
Yeah. And I'm excited. I leave for Alaska, I think Friday. And if people are going, you're going to Alaska? Because I'd be the last person. If they say New York, so I'm really excited to go. And I can't wait to see the people in Anchorage. And I'm excited to travel there. So I just wanted to make sure that we get all this in. I know that we said Cancer, you said Cancer was going to be a really good month for all your readings, and I love that. Anything we need to watch? Is there anything that
I would say just, I think like Saturn retrograde right now in Pisces. We have Neptune in Pisces, which is like that big impossible dream. Saturn in Pisces, like, it's retrograding, and it's also in Pisces. You could be revisiting like a section of an idea that you have for your life. Like it could be something small. It could be like, maybe you want to have a family, or maybe you want to start a business, or whatever it is. But there could be like a highlight on a section of that. And so, it's kind of hard to say, because I think people really have to pay attention to their attention with Saturn retrograde. It's like your attention will be on something. Maybe like when you're going to the bathroom, you wake up in the morning, you kind of think about something. And I think we need to like follow those threads and, just kind of see what they lead us to.
I love that. And, I always, I look for what leads us to the next place. I'm very much, I'll wake up in the middle of the night. I'm an insomniac. So I'll be led to sound horrible. I mean, I try to sleep, and I sleep sometimes. I get, but I'm up about 4 times a night. And so I am led to certain things. And I think I feel like a lot of people, if they go to where they're being led, as long as it's in love and light, that's a big inspiration. It's going to be a big inspiration for them. I do want to tell you, because you brought up Mercury, and this is what I'm just going to put out there. Mercury goes retrograde the beginning of August. And what I thought, Chris, which would be great, is back to the basic, because that's really for me. That's what, you have a lot of going backwards, retrograding, bringing people in that you have business that you haven't finished. Oh, things that have ended that shouldn't have ended one way, they're bringing it back to possibly have a better ending. And one of the big themes that I want to do is for you back to the basics. I know you probably don't really think about it, but I met you when you were doing playing cards.
Yep.
And I want to know, and then we're going to go to the questions. I know we're going to go to the questions. I know that you were one of the only people doing playing cards. So that is so interesting and inspirational to a lot of people because you just picked up cards and started doing it. So for my question for you, and then like I said, we'll start reading out of chat, and then the box. What made you? I know you have it in your history because I can feel it, but what made you transition from the card? And we're going to want to know about the different suits and how they meet. I don't know whether you want to do it when the retrograde starts or if you would just answer a couple questions would be, how did you go from doing something very rare, which is the playing card? People, that talk about people who read playing cards say they're the most in-depth, insightful readers to tarot. Can you tell us?
Yeah, I switched because just imagery, it was just like a new thing to really dive into. So I already knew tarot when I was reading the playing card, but I got this book and that I'm not going to remember the name of. I think it's The Secret Language of Tarot, and I don't remember who it's by. But I got the book. I got the book at the time when I was reading playing cards on my channel, like at the time that I switched to tarot. And so reading that book, kind of the same thing. There's so many like little things about the tarot cards that people don't really pick up on or read about, and I learned it from that book. So that's really the reason why I switched, just something new to really dig into.
Well, I know your brain, and you don't stay with one thing. You like to learn and you like to evolve.
Yes.
Very, very obvious. You have a lot of people that said, let me pull up a couple. Is it AE? West Station? Playing cards are cool to read. Dates and more specific stuff, in my experience.
Yep.
So you started with probably the hardest way to read cards, and then you went to something that really intrigued you, which was, the imagery, which I love. I would say, I'm dying to make a set myself. So maybe we can collaborate on doing a deck of playing cards. And TM says, interesting, never heard of playing cards reading before. Well, you're going to, because Chris is going to do that on our show.
I will, yes.
And I don't know, since this is the last show for the next 3 weeks, I think, or then I feel like maybe retrograde is when we should pick it up.
Yeah, we could
definitely.
Because that would be fun.
Yeah. And everyone who wants to see how Chris started, and believe me, I had people calling when he was on my show on Blog Talk saying, where did you get him? We haven't seen a playing card reader in a long time. They're usually very, very, their wisdom is very ancient, and they usually picked up those cards. I know a couple readers that were 80 when I was young. So it's really a very cool and an art that a lot of people don't pick up anymore. So everyone, we're going to start that when Mercury goes retrograde, which I think is August 2nd or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you'll do that, then you can show everyone how you do it. Some people don't come with their sun because they think their rising sign is more important than their sun. I just had someone tell me that today, but I'm a sun girl, so I like my sun sign. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, same. A lot of people say they don't resonate with their sun, but I don't think we are supposed to resonate with our sun sign readings, because I think our sun sign readings are advice. They're not. It's not meant to. I think it's like a misunderstanding of what tarot is. So we're not meant to resonate with it necessarily. It's more like a map.
Absolutely. And I always look at it, we come down with those qualities and we're striving to be and perfect those qualities. So for me, that's why I want to look at it, because what do I want to look at anything else for? I know how I am. So I'm a sun girl, and that's why I resonate so much with all of your signs. And plus, for everybody listening to Chris again, please go to him. And I know I'm keeping you over time. Please go to his site. It's Minnow Pond or Chris Rec, on YouTube, the YouTube's, and you have a real Chris Rec channel too, don't you?
That's right. Yes.
Can you?
Yep.
Can you tell everybody how to watch all your stuff and get
Yep.
you and
Yeah.
and follow you, please?
Minnow Pond everywhere and Real Chris Rec everywhere and Chris Rec on YouTube. Those are the best places to look.
And for all of you who don't know to follow him, please follow him on Minnow Pond. I have my guides told me he's going to make 1 million people by the end of this year. We still have got a lot of months. I'm just follow him, have everybody follow him. Everyone, please go to his dent makers. And you also have a dent maker site, and that is to teach you all and all of us how to do. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's dentmakersutl.com, and you can watch the whole thing for free.
You can't get anything for it.
I know.
Thank you, Chris. I'll see you when you read your playing card the end of this month.
Yes, of course. See you later.
Love you all. Happiness.
Love you.
Oh, I
Bye.
love you, Chris. You know that. You're my man.
Of course.
Bye, everyone.